What's going on, people? Welcome to the full view. Well, it's kind of full. Welcome to the kind of full view. So, I mean, welcome to the view. Welcome to the view.
It was originally called that. It was originally called that before it was called the full view. I think there was something. If I cast my mind back to the very early days of United View, there was something that was called the View.
Yeah,
and I felt
but
like
you know
we
what
had
happened?
the conversation
someone put in the comments. No, someone put in the comments. You should call it full view, and I was like, do you know what?
Oh yeah, it might have been
shout.
that. I know we did have a discussion about one point about going, does everything have to have view in it? And we went,
yeah, I think we've reached our maximum view limit, probably. Do you know what I mean? Maybe. You never know, actually. Never know, never say never. Big up Faz coming through from the I don't know, from the Faz. What are you calling yours? Like, obviously we've got United View HQ. What's where are you, Faz? What do you call it?
I'm in Planet Faz. This is my planet. This is my world. Yeah,
Faz. I like that.
This is my environment. Anything and everything to do with my crazy thoughts and ideas.
I'm in Planet Faz. I like that. And big up Cam. Cam, where are you? You're just in the wall. Big up. Are you there, Cam?
Yeah, my connection's kind of dodgy. I can't really hear anyone.
Oh. Okay, we can hear you. We
can
hear you loud and clear. So,
yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on, to be honest.
So Cam's a bit like the United team right now. He's not really sure what's going on. Do you know what I'm saying? But there you go. A little bit late today. Obviously, we were talking to KG before we came online. He had a few things he needed sorting, so that was why we were 4 minutes late, as per usual. Always KG. Someone says Cam's in the tactics room. And big up Ijax, says Will Chan, 100%. Ijax is always out there talking them big facts and stuff. Big up Flex, Owen, Faz, and Cam, says David Lee, 100%. Europa, here we go. We're doing a little bit different today. Obviously, I know there's a game tomorrow against Brentford. So normally we never ever do previews on a Friday on the full view. But since that we've got a game tomorrow, we'll have road trip tomorrow. We thought, you know what, we may as well preview the game. May as well. There's not much news. And anyone says there is news, it's just reaching, because it just isn't. Like, it just isn't. Sometimes you have to just come on there and say there's not much going on. So let's have a bit of a freestyle chat. Let's have a bit of a free-for-all and get into it. Because one thing we do know, whether journalists are talking or whether journalists are not, he's gone.
Yeah.
I was thinking that's only gonna last so long. Let me
I was thinking that as well.
That's only gonna last so long. But I'm not gonna move everything, because I know he's gonna come back and then I have to change it again. That's gonna be annoying.
I had to. I was a giant head there. Like, my head's big enough as it is, but I look like, you when you're zoomed in. You're doing that kind of stuff. Oh.
Faz is. I don't know. Faz's one's all right, actually. He's got his.
It works.
It's always. I'm Faz. It's always going to be all right.
Talking about always going to be all right, Faz. Are we going to be all right against Brentford? Are we going to see another? Actually, are we going to see another win before the end of the season?
Yes, I think so. Yes, I think so. We should be able to. It's there's no pressure right now, so I don't see why the players won't go out and perform and give us a couple of goals. There's no pressure at all now. So yeah, we should be able to handle them.
But Brentford as well, they ain't got no pressure. They're playing quite well, just held Tottenham to a draw. Weeks before that, they've just basically cemented themselves in the Premier League. Ivan Toney's playing well. Bueno's playing well. Christian Eriksen is doing his thing. Like, they're just that team.
I mean, Eriksen, I just want to say a big respect to him. He's come back after his situation, and there's teams that are maybe even looking into him and etc. What a player! Like, you have to come back from what he came back from in the Premier League as well. Yeah, a lot of respect to him. I'll be excited to see him as well on the pitch.
Yeah, it's one of the ones I said before. I think you just need to. I don't know if you've got any headphones or you can turn me down a little bit. We just got a little bit of feedback. People saying it's echoing as well. I think it's because you haven't got headphones in or we're too loud. That's fine. It's gone now, I think, or it's getting less. The thing with Eriksen that I said is that not only obviously has he survived what he had to survive, but the main thing is that he's actually playing at a level. Like, you see, he ain't just come to just participate. Do you know what I mean? He could have just.
There are conversations, literally, proper. People saying, like, there are lots of people, whether they're Spurs fans or even United fans. I've seen them all going, I tell you what, Christian Eriksen in the summer, would you? Yes, I would. To answer that question, Christian
Would you?
Eriksen in the summer course.
You having him?
Yeah. Of course, I would have him in the summer flex. Like we were talking about this the other day, right? Bruno Fernandes is our number 10. And I'm not sure what position we're going to play under Erik Ten Hag next season. I'm assuming, was it 4-2-3-1? I think he plays. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. But if it's not Bruno Fernandes playing as the 10, who plays as the 10 for United? Who's the understudy? Who's the backup? Who's the competition in that role?
Donny.
Wow. Is it?
Might be.
Are you having Christian Eriksen, Cam?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's a lot more mature than Bruno, but I think I've got a feeling Bruno ends up on the right wing. I think we've mentioned it before. I think it's been mentioned. I think the Ajax guys mentioned it as well. He obviously wide tens. I can see that happening.
We were looking at KG when that happened, Cam, because you was one of the first to start talking about it, and all of a sudden, when the Ajax guys were saying it, I think it was one who said it. All of a sudden, KG had a lot to listen to, and he wouldn't listen to you.
I mean, sometimes different voices. That's what it takes. But what else?
Someone who doesn't have an agenda against he'll probably listen to. I hear you.
I mean, we could just tick him off for KG at this point, can't we? The Wan-Bissaka thing, it's just he's accepted it now. Rashford, he's accepted. It's just a long list, isn't it? It's growing every time we get on.
It's true, actually. But the thing is with the Bruno situation, right? With being a wide 10, it works in theory, but he was tried as a wide 10 earlier on this season, wasn't he? And it didn't work out. Now, you could argue that might be for various reasons. Coaching, timing, Ralph's an interim manager. How much authority does he have? Or is it a situation whereby actually Bruno was tried as a wide 10? He went, no, I don't want to be a wide 10. Could that happen next season under Ten Hag, Cam?
Yeah, I think so. I think what we could see is basically like the Ajax system at the minute gets switched over left to right. So at the minute, they've got Anthony looking to cut in from the right side and look to play on the diagonals. We've got Sancho who can do that from the left. And then we've got Bruno basically in the Tadic role on the right. So it just switches over the sides. And looking at the rumours then as well, in terms of the left back we're looking to sign, I can't say I've ever watched the lad play, Malacia, but from what I've heard, he's very good 1v1 defensively and he's got a lot of pace. So hopefully he'll be able to fly forwards. I'm not sure if he's got all that quality in terms of final product, but if he can fly forwards quite a lot, he can basically be playing the Mazraoui role, so that then it gives, in the way that Anthony can then cut in on the diagonals, it should hopefully let Sancho cut in on the diagonal from the left for us. So I think Bruno then on the right does give us a bit of balance. I think the issue, again, in terms of whether he'll actually want to do it, whether he'll want to listen, I think he will. I think in a team that's a bit more structured, when he's got a little bit more faith in the coaching and the other players, then hopefully he will actually decide to actually do the job he's supposed to. But I think what it could give with Bruno on the right is it means that if he does go roaming, if he does go and play in different pockets, we haven't lost the structure. Because if he's playing as the 10 and he goes roaming, there's nothing in the middle of the pitch. All of a sudden, your two left side and right side are completely disconnected. There's no one to be that link. But if he's on the right side and he does decide to roam, hopefully there'll be a fullback who can stretch the game. So we've not lost any width. And then we've still got the number 10 as well. So hopefully we can still have a bit of a link. But yeah,
who's that
it's
10
really
though? Who is that 10 then? Donny? Can you imagine the balls on Ten Hag to come to Manchester United and not just come to United and bring Donny back and play him, but then also say you are the number 10 as well? That is a massive core, is it not?
It is, but I think if you're going to go with players that are creative on the wing, so if you're getting Bruno and Sancho and you're looking at them to sort of create the majority of your chances, you want your number 10 to be someone that creates space for others. Doesn't necessarily have to be all that creative themselves, in the way that I guess Donny's not. He's not like Bruno in the sense of he's not constantly forcing any pass that he can see to try and create a chance. What Donny does is facilitates other players. He brings them into play, little 1-2s, creates a bit of space, draws a little bit of a gap between the player and the defender. So maybe he can be the man to unlock it all.
Interesting.
Faz, United supporter says they're play without a number 10. We're talking about who would be who. Is that something that could be happening?
I still think Bruno would be a better number 10 under Ten Hag, especially going forward next season. I think he definitely has, regardless of how much I've said he's done things that are unforgivable, he still has set abilities and skills that I think Ten Hag can utilize in the new system. I think some of the things, for example, his assists, his passing at times. Yeah, it's been shocking this season, but we do know that he does have that in his ammunition. Even, for example, his long-range shooting ability. We've not seen that much, but we know he possesses that as well. Yeah, he does go roaming around, yes, but he still sometimes puts a shift in. I'm just trying to, balance it out. I still think he'd be more effective for us as a number 10 position next year. Now, playing without a number 10, that's very interesting. I don't know how that would fit in with Manchester United style. I haven't even thought of it or pictured it, in all honesty. So I don't know. I still see Bruno, especially with his contract extension as well. I see him playing in that central role going forward for at least 1 or 2 seasons until maybe Ten Hag can figure out a way, put him on the right, and then see how he wants to go about that way. But other than that, yeah.
I want to stay with that actually, because I like kind of maybe looking at what it could look like, because when a new manager comes in, we have a set thing in our head that, okay, well, we play 4-2-3-1, so how's Bruno going to play? Or Rashford plays out wide or whatever. How's he going to play? Or Alanga plays here or whatever. The only, obviously Ronaldo plays where he plays. But you do bring Donny back, let's say. You do get rid of Pogba, let's say. Matic is gone. Probably going to get... Surely now we've got to get a central defensive midfielder. But you also need an attacking midfielder. But I think in the order of saving money, that will probably be Donny for Paul Pogba. I don't think they go and spend big because we've lost Paul Pogba. And he hasn't been that influential to be like, we've lost Paul Pogba. What are we going to do? We've just lost loads of goals. It just hasn't been that, has it? So I think you bring in Donny there, but it's like there could actually be a whole new system. So I want to keep there. Just going to get the super chat out of the way. H. Greenway says, one player you all would drop for the rest of the season. Does Maguire count because he's out for the rest of the season? Well, we don't know that, but it seems that way. Wan-Bissaka seems like he's ill a bit, not in, whatever. Bruno.
Come on now, you know who it is.
Is it Bruno?
No.
Rashford.
Marcus.
Thank you.
But does that count though? He's kind of not been... But he's only playing because Jadon Sancho's got tonsillitis. Otherwise, he still would be not playing.
I still would put someone else rather than
As in, don't be on the bench.
Yeah, just keep him on the bench. Probably won't even give any minutes at this point. Put someone else on. Put Shoretire.
Or Hannibal or whatever. Just a young kid. Just anyone. Cam, you having that?
Yeah, no. Get rid of Rashford. Just send him a holiday now, and just the season's over for him. There's no point. You'd rather play with Tan at this point. There actually is no point having him on the pitch.
Especially after Thursday, right? Because, I mean, obviously, look, recently he's not been playing well, granted. And I don't think you could really maybe fault his effort in games recently. You would just say he's just so far off it. It's a confidence issue, whatever. But Thursday, you could absolutely fault his effort. Like that, there was objectively especially in that first half, he was walking, and I was absolutely staggered by it because for all of the criticism that he has received this season, for his poor performances, for like the stuff in the media or whatever it may be, the thing you could definitely say, well, at least he's trying, maybe, but like he was not trying. Like the fastest sprint Marcus Rashford did on Thursday was to Thomas Tuchel after the match. I don't know if you saw that, Flex. After the match, he sprinted to him and shake his hand. Where was that in the first half? If I was Tellers, I'd run over to him and say, where was that? I was like 2-on-1, Reece James is running rings around me. What was going on there? So it looks, there are a lot of players in that side at the moment, let's be honest, that could do with just saying, you know what, you're not playing for the rest of the season. Because you're not, when you put the shirt on, you're on the pitch, you're barely playing anyway, right? So what's the difference? That's why I think it's funny when people are saying play the kids, or play the youngsters. And then you get some backlash of people saying, no, that doesn't make any sense. You still want to win the games and all that kind of stuff. But it's questionable whether we're going to win any games anyway. Let's be honest. We're playing Brentford tomorrow. Couldn't tell you. Wouldn't be shocked in the slightest if Brentford turn us over. They're playing well. They play good stuff. And on top of that, on paper, Brentford aren't a better team than us, obviously. But if they want to play tomorrow, they'll probably beat us because we've got a team of players that don't want to play. And it's like that for every other game this season. Brighton play some really good stuff.
I'm not looking forward to that game.
He'll be jumping around because Man United's a big game in town, and they'll know that we're there to be beat. We've seen what happens with these players that are away from home.
Same with
Remember when
Palace
we were
last
saying
day
it
of
was
the
great
season.
at travelling? Yeah, exactly. Same with Palace. Selhurst Park is going to be bouncing. That last day of the season, they've had a decent season. So, I mean, you asked Faz earlier on, are we going to win another game this season? I tell you what, Flex, that's $1 million question right out of the gate, because I couldn't tell you.
This is what I'm saying.
Was shocked. I was shocked when we drew with Chelsea on Thursday, because I went, pfft. And it wasn't like because we played amazingly. I was like, man, Chelsea were terrible. They played Everton today. A friend of mine's a Chelsea fan. I was chatting to him. I was saying, mate, what a bad week for you. You lost to Everton and you drew against us, and we're awful. Like, you have no business drawing against us, especially how we were playing on Thursday when we were walking around, and you still couldn't
just
beat
fizzled
us.
out. Yeah, they've just fizzled
exactly.
out. Chelsea. Ola Demidji says Bruno needs to go and play behind the goalie the way he's played this season. Harsh words there. And Many Good Vibes says one touch football in the final third with Bruno in the number 10. We have to be honest and not force players in because they've done well for us. So basically saying Bruno's not going to be the guy under Ten Hag with the one touch football in the final third. And Ismail says who should be captain next season, and should United sell Wan-Bissaka? Hold that thought. I'm going to ask you guys that. Lil Yo-Yo says Flex, what chewing gum does Wan-Bissaka chew? Flex, what chewing gum does Wan-Bissaka chew? Oh, because I've got gum, or just in general, what does he have? I don't know. Probably just Wrigley's Extra, isn't it? Just going to go with default. Probably that. Maybe actually, nah. He's the type of guy who won't even have the proper mature one. He'd have like Hubba Bubba. Just runs out quick. Yeah.
What a disappointment. Do you reckon in that one where it's like a really, what's the one where it's like a really long sort of ball of it? You know what I mean? It's like strips and you keep
the big roll. Yeah.
He's probably got one of those.
Or Wan-Bissaka, because he just does nuts things, he probably has the screwball one. Just has the ice cream. I reckon
before the match, he's shoveling it down.
Yeah. Or worse. I think he throws the ice cream out. I think he just
interesting.
I think some people change it. So why don't you just you can get a pack of gum, bro. You don't have to. You know what I mean? So
he says it's too harsh. The minty flavor is too harsh.
There you go. The screwball ones are right. There's a flavor comes off quick. You need a new one quick. I think he does that. Abdullah says Lopetegui used Martial as a number 10 over Bruno. We'll have to see. Someone said, Cam, who would you have as captain, and who was that? They said another question. I forgot what it was. And should United sell Wan-Bissaka?
Captain, I think if you had to pick one player in the squad based on their individual sort of qualities, their personal qualities, not on the pitch, just personal qualities, it's Scott McTominay. In terms of attitude, sort of leadership skills, like his communication, the way he comes out in interviews and speaks after the game, in terms of all that stuff, it's got to be him. But then you look at what he does on the pitch, he cannot be a Man United captain. He's nowhere near good enough. He's so far away. I think.
Wait, Cam, wait there, Cam. Are you saying he should be the captain next year, or are you saying he shouldn't be the captain next year?
I'm saying he shouldn't be captain next year.
Okay.
No, it's all good. I think now it should be. If we're giving him one game a week, Ronaldo, 100%. If he's willing to play like he has done the last few games, where he's Ronaldo right now in the last few games is doing exactly work rate wise. He's doing what Cavani was doing when we were all gassing him up. He's playing left back. He's playing right back. Playing midfield when he needs to. If he's doing that, he's got to be captain. You can't beat it.
Faz,
we
had this conversation on the show. Do you remember that? When actually, do you know what? We might need to apologize to Faz. Sometimes you have to just be honest, because I think I remember a show. I definitely was saying, Faz, Ronaldo can't be the captain because he's too, petulant and all that. There was a show.
I've said that before. I think
let's
I've
have
said
it
that
right.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, and people in the community actually did agree.
Yeah.
I think you agreed, Cam, at the time. I also said that's why Bruno potentially might not be able to have it, but maybe that's why De Gea should. But Ronaldo's then kicked on and just been Ronaldo, and it's opened up. And I feel like there's a little bit. I think Faz was saying this before.
Let me put it in perspective. Yes, you have to. When you're in a squad, you're gonna look around the changing room. You're gonna think to yourself, who is the player that I look up to? Who are the players that I can rely on? And who are the leaders? Who do I want to follow? It's either you're a leader, you're going to step up, or you're going to look to, for example, De Gea, Bruno, Ronaldo. Out of, let's say, for example, let's take those three players. I'm going to try and break it down as much as I can. Bruno is the only person who's probably going to likely to play week in, week out next year, considering his contract extension, considering his, age, whatever you want to call it, injuries, whatever. He stays fit. He plays week in, week out. De Gea is another one. obviously he's going to stay and play week in, week out. I don't think Ten Hag's going to take him out. I don't see it happening. Now, in terms of Ronaldo, he's logically makes sense to put him as captain. But under Ten Hag, does Ronaldo play week in, week out? This is the question. If we bring Martial back, for example, if we bring Ahmad, if we bring Elanga into the squad and all these other players, right? Does Rashford go and now partner up and play up top alone, or does Martial do that? Does Ronaldo play, one game a week and sometimes assist on the bench? So can he be the captain in that case? Well, not really. If he's not going to be playing week in, week out, it doesn't make sense for him to be the captain. But then the other argument is logically it does, because he's the highest rated player. Every player, no matter who you are, you're going to look up to him. The manager's going to, even listen to him a bit differently because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. So you have to consider all that. With all that being considered, I would now give it to De Gea. Even if Ronaldo plays week in, week out, for example, maybe he can.
I didn't expect that one.
Because Flex is picking up Faz going, Faz, you know what? You were right. Cristiano Ronaldo. Faz is going, yep, I want to give it to De Gea.
No, but hear me out. If Ronaldo plays week in, week out at the same level, the human side of me still thinks, oh my God, he's 37 years old. But I need to get out of that and think this man's an alien. He could play week in, week out. He might be all right. He went and caught some sun in Portugal, came and gave us 3 goals, a hat trick. He's just that type of human being. So maybe he does play week in, week out. If that's the case, give it to him. But the argument, it's good that we have an argument. It's good that we have a choice between De Gea and Ronaldo. And like I say, if Ronaldo plays week in, week out, stays fit, give it to Ronaldo, 100%.
Owen?
Wow, we've had this discussion a couple of times, haven't we? I was with you before.
Has it changed though? Has it moved?
I think the context with the Ronaldo thing at the time, the reason definitely I was leaning on no is this was, I don't know when we were having it, but it was when Ronaldo wasn't scoring goals, right? Because this is what people forget is that January, February, he didn't score for like 2 months. The fact that he's the second top goal scorer. The fact that he's second top goal scorer in the Premier League and he scored the most goals in 2022, by the way, and he gave everyone a 2-month head start is madness. Absolute madness. We can't overlook that. 37 years old, that's crazy. But at the time, he wasn't scoring goals. He was doing a lot of the, Bruno pointing and all that kind of stuff. And you do look at that and you say, that's that. And you don't know his future at United. And that was at the time. Now, if Ten Hag went with Ralph's proposal of everyone votes, which I'm not sure I'm really on the board with all that kind of thing. I think it should be the manager's selection, but I can understand the logic behind it of, well, if everyone voted for a guy, then logically they would all be behind him as the captain. It's a way to unite the dressing room, right? It's a democratic process. I think if everyone was to vote tomorrow, I think Cristiano Ronaldo would get it. He's obviously the most respected guy in the dressing room. How can he not be? If he didn't get it, that's a problem, frankly.
Yeah, everyone has the vote and they don't pick him. He's going mad.
They all vote for themselves. We'll go anyone. Everyone thinks they should be captain. But yeah, I'm with the theory now. It should probably be Ronaldo for a season because I do think he'll probably leave at the end of next season, and I think that's the season which we go, okay, whoever's the vice captain at that point, or if you don't have one, you've got a season to figure it out. Like everyone's got a chance to prove themselves in that season, and Ronaldo can, bestow who the captain's going to be to the next, whatever it may be. Whether that vice captain is David De Gea, for whatever people want to say, he's got tenure. He's obviously got respect. Cam's talking to the media. I think every De Gea interview he's done recently has been very good. After games, before games. Yeah. Before the game against Chelsea, when they was like, how does it feel to be a Man United player at the moment? He's like, pretty embarrassing, to be honest. I agree, and but in the course of the next 12 months, there could be someone that's already there right now that does step up and we go, I tell you what, it's very obvious who the next captain should be. But right now, I think just for ease, like Ten Hag's got so many decisions to make when he comes in, so many. The easiest one probably is removing Maguire as the captain. And I just think for the sake of ease, you just go, okay, I'll give it to Ronaldo, safe option for a season. I'll revisit that next summer. I've got other things to deal with right now. That's what I would probably do. What do you think, Flex?
I think, first of all, we need to big up Michael from the Free Seats. He says, can I get a shout out, Flex? It's my wedding night. So big up to Michael. Happy wedding. Congratulations and stuff like that.
He's watching us.
But I would say, bro, I don't know if maybe the missus is a or your partner is a massive United fan or United View fan and wants to watch, but if she doesn't, it's your wedding night, bro. Like you gotta.
Well, do you think it's one of
you
those
got to do a lot of stuff,
situations?
but you got.
I'm looking at it like it's. I'm looking at it like it's the after bit right now, but just after the wedding, after the reception, rather, whereby
knackered.
It's not late enough for people to dance yet and all that kind of stuff. So everyone's sort of sitting around the tables, looking around, going, "Is that person going to go up and dance? Then I might go up and dance." Maybe it's that period of time. Maybe it's just.
So what are you saying? Are you saying Mike's in his own wedding reception right now with his AirPods in because he's waiting for his own wedding to pick up?
He used to say AirPods, Flex. Maybe there's a couple of people around the table going, "Oh, full views on. Yeah, come on. Yeah, we'll all watch it together." During the meal,
the reception.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we're on big screen in the whole wedding reception right now?
If we're not, I'd be angry.
Never. I wouldn't be surprised.
Matty Lad says United View over everything. KG in the chat says, nah, crackhead settings, not on your wedding night. Well, Mike's watching, unless he's lying.
KG, some people just say congratulations, okay? They don't call people crackheads when they get married, okay? Bit of a difference.
Exactly. There's a very happy Zayn Miasi super sticker in the chat. Big up Zayn. Obviously, Arsenal got their 2-1 win today as well in their quest for top 4. Must be nice. Good luck to them and Tottenham. Battle it out right to the end of the day. Have a wrap to the end of the season. Good. Do your thing. The captain thing. I feel like it has to be out of De Gea and Ronaldo. Don't care which one. That's actually how I feel. I feel like Ten Hag has so much to contend with. He needs to count on a constant. And if Ronaldo stays, he will be a constant. Because I've also got my head around, even though we are definitely, we hear reports that we're definitely in for a younger striker or whatever, Ronaldo still will be starting most of the games. That'll be more to facilitate the young striker's going to come in if we're playing, if we do get in that shitty conference thing, if we're playing Thursday, Sunday or whatever, or Tuesday and then Saturday, whatever it is, Ronaldo might not be able to play. The youngster's going to have to, whatever youngster we buy, if Ronaldo's still there, that youngster will know you just have to fall back a year, get used to being at Man United. You know what I mean? Get double figure appearances, but you might not start many games. But after that, you'll be good. We'll build with you. That's what I think. So that is fine if it's Ronaldo. Then the games he's not playing, it will probably go to, well, you can't really count now, actually, because the games when the captain isn't there, it goes to Bruno. But under Ten Hag, that could be completely different. So we don't know if it will go to Bruno in Ronaldo's absence, let's say. Or it could just go straight to De Gea. I don't know. But I feel like Ten Hag is going to need as many constants in a team that doesn't have many as possible. And the only two people you can rely on in that whole squad before it gets dismantled is Ronaldo and De Gea. They're the only two you can put your hat on and your mortgage and your house and your life and say, you know what, those two will maintain some level of performance. Even if they might dip here or there, make the odd mistake, or Ronaldo, like you said, went 8 games without scoring. And I remember doing Sky when they're like, oh, Flex, is this a big thing? And I was like, this just shows how good he is. It's taken him to get to 37 for the first time ever in his career to go 8 games without scoring. I mean, most strikers do that every year. Just
in an underperforming United squad as well, by the way. This is going to be, unless we win, or even if we win every single game, we're going to equal our worst Premier League season ever. And Cristiano Ronaldo is the second top goal scorer in the Premier League. Imagine he was in a good side.
Exactly.
He'd be top scorer. If he had gone to Man City, and I don't even know if he would think about this, but if he had gone to Man City, think of the goals he would score.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly,
I don't like this. I'm sorry, Owen, but I don't like this thing of people saying, "Oh, this is a Man City player." Oh, imagine him in Man. I don't like it. I want to concentrate on just how we can improve ourselves. Like, oh, imagine Donny van de Beek going to, or imagine Ronaldo going to Chelsea. Or I don't like this comparison. It makes me feel like, well, I know my team's not good enough, but it rubs salt in the wounds, if that makes sense.
Good. We need to, because still some people have their eyes closed in certain situations. Some people think like Ten Hag's going to come in and we're going to be like, yeah, we're going to be challenging next season. Of course we're not. Like, let's be realistic. We have to be eyes open on how bad we actually are at the moment. Again, I don't mean it in jest when I say I don't know if we'll win a game for the rest of the season. I really don't. And I try my very best to try and be not negative and all that kind of stuff. But again, I watched 45 minutes on Thursday of people walking around. So who knows? And again, compare it. The only reason I say that about Ronaldo is just to prove the point of, and I said this at the time, of when he was playing badly, I'm always remiss to criticize Cristiano Ronaldo. You have to be remiss because, And his record does speak for itself, obviously. But again, just look at this season. This is a season in which, he was the problem and he's still the second top goal scorer in the Premier League. Madness.
Cam, Lecky says, are people overlooking that Maguire might still be the captain next year?
It's possible. I mean, if we're saying whatever we pick out of De Gea or Ronaldo is probably a placeholder for one season, then it is also possible that Maguire keeps it, just again to avoid rocking the dressing room. But realistically, at this point, if anyone comes in with an offer for him, just take it. Just take the offer, however much the offer is. If it's, you know what, even if it's 15 million, just take it and just get it out. Because I know we've lost a lot of money, but I think it's one of those where he's probably done it. I think he can get back to a good level. Is he on the level to get us to being a world-class side? Probably not. He's a very good centre-back.
15 mil, Cam. 15 mil.
Just get his wages off, get him out and move on, pretend it never happened, to be honest. I think that's the point we're at.
That bad.
But the way the club is moving and some of the,
Faz, your levels are low. I don't know if you've turned yourself down.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm saying the way some of the heads are being moved around from the club, moved out of the club, I can definitely see Harry Maguire being taken out the captaincy role. I can definitely see it happening.
What makes you so sure?
Because Matt Judge, boom, Ed Woodward gone, scouts gone, and these are happening consecutive, one after the other as well, and just straight after Ten Hag being announced. So I think Ten Hag's probably already thinking who's his captain going to be. And it's just, everybody can blatantly see it, except for Mr. Maguire himself, who went on, obviously, the interview and said, managers are picking me because I'm doing well. So maybe he sees something within him. And good, you should believe in your own sauce, but not when it's this bad. But Ten Hag's definitely looking, and he has a captain in his head already, and it's definitely not Maguire. And like I say, everybody agrees. The way he establishes himself as the leader, as the person in charge to take this ship forward, is by taking the captaincy off. That's the first move he has to make.
It's like Owen said, I think it's the easiest thing to do. If you're the new guy, you're not going to get, how can you do, especially in a team that's as broke as Man United. It's not like he's coming into a really united dressing room, a really stable dressing room, one where everybody respects it. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if Klopp
dressing room. I don't think.
Exactly.
If Harry Maguire the captaincy, you'll be like, people are going to be. It's like that David Brent scene. There's going to be a mutiny out there, and then there isn't.
Yeah.
100%. See you, Harry, or whatever. That'll be it.
If someone came into Liverpool and just changed the captain straight away, people would be like, well, hang on, Hendo's won us this, and one. Hang on a minute, even though he might not be starting all the games, we really like him, and he's club. Let's have a. Do you know what I mean? And we've been really successful, but at Man United. Exactly. I agree. The players aren't exactly going to be fuming, I don't think. Cam, give me a starting 11 for tomorrow. Just looking into tomorrow's game. I know it is a bit of a dead rubber, but I just want to spend 5-10 minutes just going through what you expect from tomorrow, how you think it's going to pan out, who you would start. Obviously, we haven't had the press conference yet, we haven't had any updates on further injuries or if Fred's back or anything. But from what you believe to be true, what would you go with? And get involved in the comments as well. I believe so.
Yeah, so it'll probably be then De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Tellez, unfortunately, because there's no one else. And I think Fernandes played the whole game for the youth team, didn't he? So
yeah,
he won't be fit. Then probably Matic, McTominay, Rashford, Bruno, Elanga, and Ronaldo. That really is depressing, isn't it?
Do you think that's what it's going to be, or is that what you want?
No, that's what I think it's going to be. If I could choose it, I'd probably take out Rashford for Lingard, just because at least we know Lingard will run around a bit. Outside of that, I just don't think there's too many changes you can really make to it. I don't think there's not really anyone on the bench that's good enough. Maybe Maturin for Elanga, possibly. I don't know. It's tough. It's
slim pickings, isn't it? No one's fit. No one likes the players. The teams, there's nothing.
And the way that Cam said that is, you can legitimately hear them. That's how they'd be talking. They'd be like, anything else? Maybe Mata for Elanga or something. They go,
I would start Mata. I swear to you, I would start Mata. For these couple of games, I would start Mata in the 10. I would.
Why not? Well, and also remember, this is the final Old Trafford game of the season tomorrow, so it could be his final Old Trafford game in general for Manchester United, right?
Him. And anyone who says, "Oh, this is the problem with bringing on Matt," doesn't matter.
Who cares?
We're playing a dead rubber game at Old Trafford where we've been absolutely shit all year.
It's not even about sentiment, is it? Like, he's been one of the best players in midfield when he's come on in the last 2 games.
Yeah,
I think, and he's been one of the hardest workers on the pitch. I think the only reason he might not start against Brentford is obviously they're quite direct, and against that you probably want the height of McTominay and Matic. But I mean, if they're not going to move, if they're not going to run, and if McTominay can't find anyone in the same colour shirt with the ball, then what's the point? So yeah, I mean, I think we can think about the sort of tactical side of players being direct or better suited to long balls, but if they're not going to run, if they've not got any quality to find their own, to pass to someone in the same colour shirt as them, it doesn't really matter. So
I'd rather have Mata on the right than Rashford.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Million percent. Like tomorrow, even if it weren't for Bruno, I would say Rashford, you sit. If Sancho's still out, I'd put Elanga on the left, and I would have Mata on the right over Lingard. I would start Mata tomorrow. He's come off the bench the last few games, been the only one who can put some passes together, been the only one who looks like he can understand the game. And again, this isn't about the future. This is about there's only 3 games left of the shit season, so why wouldn't you play the guy who's actually done a bit okay? Swifty 95 Faz, we need to talk about Telles, man. LOL. Do we need to talk about Telles?
He's gonna leave. I'm reading things about.
What do you think he's gone?
He's gone. He's gone. I said it. These players need to go and speak to their agents. They need to leave. They need to move on with their career. The only person is, that I've just read about this morning was about Wan-Bissaka being in Ten Hag's plans. He still sees that there's improvements to be made, or he can get more out of him. But in terms of Telles, he's been disappointing for me. He's been very disappointing. And the crazy thing is, I had some hopes to think that he would, perform a bit better. He would bring something out for me to say, okay, yes, you're deserving enough to stay next season. Yeah, these fullbacks are atrocious. Like they're not even. I don't even think, in all honesty, I don't think they're Premier League worthy. Like, they haven't actually been Premier League worthy a lot of the games. And to think that you play for Manchester United and you're not Premier League worthy, that speaks volumes. So they definitely need to leave.
Can you see any of them
as well?
Doing better?
Sorry, Flex, with the fullbacks, is that when Ranić first came in, and basically it was like Telles and Dalot came in over Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, everyone's going, oh yeah, finally they got a chance and all this kind of stuff. And we've always sort of come to the conclusion that they're all rubbish. They're all just as bad as each other. Like, there's no one really. And how many times have we heard with Telles, well, his dead ball delivery is really good? Is it? I haven't seen it. No, I haven't. Like, maybe he puts in an occasional good cross in the game. I've yet to see that. It was the same with Dalot, wasn't it? Dalot's delivery is much better than Wan-Bissaka's. Is it?
It's what KG was saying, though. It's what KG was.
It's true.
Although although he says it in a mad way where we know it's coming from just defending his guy. Actually, he's right. They're both.
No, he's right. Dalot's not very good either.
He's right. But I remember that first game. I remember Ranić's first game against Palace, and I interviewed Cam afterwards. And from that day, you said Wan-Bissaka's finished, which you wasn't wrong because he didn't really go on to play any games. I think he's frozen.
I think
he's frozen.
No,
he's back. Oh, he's back.
I think I would keep Dalot simply because of his age. But I wouldn't keep Telles. He's 29, 30 years old. I wouldn't keep him. It doesn't make sense.
I didn't even realize that about Telles,
Yeah, 29. Telles is 29 years old, 30 years old. I'd keep Dalot simply because of his age. Simply give him, that respect of maybe in 1 year, 1 season, he could pick something up from Ten Hag. But I'd keep him as a backup as well, But yeah, Telles has to go at 29 years of age. If you're playing like this, no way.
It just doesn't add up with how poor they've all been, to be honest. WJ Barrett says, occasion when we got mugged by stats with Telles. Yeah, he's putting in this amount of crosses, or he's.
What kind of fullback tries to Jackie Chan the ball in the box? Just make it make sense. What type of defender, period, will try and just a ball that is to your chest level as well? It's not like it's coming in an awkward angle, it's spinning. It doesn't, like, there's players pressuring you. Nothing. and he tried to Jackie Chan the ball. It's called football IQ. Some of these players, you could be a good, good footballer, but it's football IQ. You just lack simple football IQ. Why are you trying to Jackie Chan the ball in the box? Oh
my god. Cam's camming right now. He's just
I'm just loving.
He changed that expression about a minute ago, then it changed to something else. It probably changed to something else in a second. It's quite funny, but I don't think he's actually here. Is he actually there, Owen? I don't think
I can see him. I can see him. He's fine. He's clear for me.
Is it? Was he there the whole time? He just froze on my one. Was he there on yours, Faz?
He's like a bit Rashfordish, isn't he? He's there, but he ain't really there.
That's weird. I can see him the whole time. He's been moving perfectly for me.
Really? I can see him now. Yeah. Are you there, Cam?
Yeah, he's lagging. Cam's lagging.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments.
He's not for me. He's not lagging for me at all. He's been cleared the whole time.
Can you hear me, Owen?
Flex, you're the problem. You're the problem, Flex. It's all on you.
No, because Faz couldn't see him either.
Yeah, you're both the problem. Get out of here.
He was there, but it was frozen.
I got you, Cam. I got you, Cam.
Because we thought you were frozen the whole time. What do you have to make of that?
Oh, Alex, tell us. I think what's happened there is they've gone down the goal charts for fullbacks and they've forgotten to take out the penalties because that's what he did. He scored a lot of penalties, a few free kicks, and they've just thought, you know what, why not? And he is. Whoever has scouted him needs to go. I don't know if they don't deserve a job in professional football ever again because I actually can't think of 3 worse left backs in the Premier League than Tellers. I actually think he is bottom 3. I think
not even Tavares.
Sorry,
Tavares.
Oh yeah, no, Tavares is actually worse. Yeah, no, he is bad.
Tavares is getting goals though.
Yeah, true.
No, but no, he is somehow worse than Tellers. Somehow, I don't know how, but he's managed.
What about Doherty?
He's a right back, isn't he?
He plays on the right.
He plays. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Who's the left? Not Reguilon. Something Plumman plays instead of Reguilon at left wing back. He's not very good.
Ben Davies.
He ain't great.
No, he's miles better than Tellers. He's fairly.
You're reaching, Flex. Flex is reaching.
So we're agreeing Tellers is
left wing back. Yeah, Doherty. No, Doherty's played there. Doherty's been playing there because for that shit other one, Emerson Royale plays right wing back and he's awful.
Yeah.
So Doherty has been playing left wing back. I thought,
who's the left wing back for Norwich? Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
I've been seeing stuff about that as well, to be fair. Like a lot of people, in my opinion, are forgetting how Brandon Williams played a couple of times for Manchester United because I've said a lot of people going, yeah, Brandon Williams, bring him back next season, whatever. And it's like, to be honest, there is no upgrade. Like, and look, Brandon Williams, good for him. He's saying that he wants to come back to Manchester United next season. Of course he does, because he just got relegated with Norwich. But he's not gone there, and you've got to tell you what, he's had a really good season. No. There were people like that were at Norwich before, was that Jamal Lewis was there and all that kind of stuff, which you go, yeah, absolutely ready for a step up. But that's always the concern, isn't it? When you're a big club like United and you go on loan to another Premier League club, and then if you don't stand out, that's part of the problem. So I'm sure Brandon Williams comes back next season, but that still would not change that we need new fullbacks.
Ten Hag ball, though. Ten Hag ball, on the front foot, overlapping fullbacks. Brandon Williams might be what he needs, might be what he wants. Might have a look at him in Thailand, in Melbourne, and be like, I'm just
tired of these discussions, Flex. When we have seen performances from players for like 2 or 3 years, and then we just go, maybe this manager will get a tune out of them. Can we just stop the maybes? If we've seen them for like 2 or 3 years, and they've under different managers, and they've played averagely or not to the standard, they're not even necessarily the bad players, but just to the standard of Manchester United where you would want it to be. If they're not good enough, they're not good enough. That's the situation. Say with Martial, I mean, I've seen the conversations now with Martial. Look, don't get me wrong, Martial's a good player, right? But when do you get tired of, can this person get the tune out of Martial? When do you get tired of, he's going to fit in really well under Erik Ten Hag? I mean, have we seen anything about him going to Sevilla and being like, oh yeah, he was amazing? Yes. If put it this way, if he played for Sevilla permanently right now, would we be looking at him being like, we need to sign Anthony Martial, he's quality? No, we wouldn't. The only reason we're going, I could get something out of him is because he's technically still a United player, and I'm just, I'm tired of it, Flex. I'm just tired of all that kind of, can this guy get a tune out of that guy? No.
But, what I'm thinking is, why are we scared to list players and sell him? Why? Why is there no open conversation?
It's contracts, isn't it? That's the problem. Anthony Martial, how much money is he on a contract? 250k a week? Nobody's paying that. Nobody is paying that. That's the problem.
And Now that is, it's a domino effect, isn't it? Yeah, the contracts, and now it leads to now we can't sell the player because nobody will pay for him, etc., etc. And now players are leaving on free. So it's a excuse my French, but it's a shit show. Even this thing about I'm hearing Darren Fletcher might be more involved in the negotiation aspect of things. I was reading this in an article this morning. I'm not happy with that as well. I'm not
What
happy
do you think
with it.
should happen? He should go as well.
I don't like his position in the club. People will defend it. People will say, "Oh, let him do his job, whatever." That's not his job. He's never been in that job. He's never had that sort of pressure in his life. So why are we not putting Ralph in a more position of power where he can dictate more contract negotiations? He can dictate transfers and stuff. I'm hearing Darren Fletcher might be looking at the transition of academy into first team and to deal with maybe some negotiation aspects of things. Why? Why him? Why can you not go and find someone who's done this previously, who's got experience in this, who's a proven individual at high level to fill in this role? I don't know why. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. It's probably because they respect Darren Fletcher. He's been in the club. He's out of respect. They're just giving him a position in the club. That's what it seems like. Other than that, tell me what he has in his CV to deserve that position.
Yeah, he's definitely new to the role. It's almost like learn on the job, isn't it? A bit like an apprenticeship. Like, you haven't really done this before, but we'll give you the experience on the job. We'll set you up with it, and hopefully you can materialize into somebody who can do that to a really high level. But he's new. Canton92 says Ten Hag is our prophet. 21 in 23. Can't wait to see KG losing it at the parade. I'm definitely not getting involved in any of that talk. And CJ says, has any midfielder had a better game than the 45 minutes Donny gave us versus Watford? And he came off the bench in that game as well, I remember. Which has been trash all season, so probably not. He was good when he came on, but essentially it was still a game we lost. I'm not saying we lost it because of Donny, but I just don't really know what to say, CJ. There's just been such shit all year that I can't pick. The only standout things I can pick out is just when Ronaldo's just individually done stuff to just get us out of a hole. There's not really... Bruno hasn't really come clutch. Rashford's been horrendous. Sancho's been up and down. McTominay and Fred have been McTominay and Fred. Fred more so has been better. Elanga's had a decent breakthrough. Hasn't been, hasn't set every game alight, but it's been actually made easier for him because Rashford's been so poor. He's got the nod more often than not. The fullbacks have been atrocious. Harry Maguire's been crap. Varane's been injured. Bailly signed a new deal, doesn't get spoken about. Phil Jones has almost had his testimonial against Wolves, crying, showing everything on the pitch, gets hooked at halftime against Liverpool. I think I've just gone through the whole squad. Matic has done okay. Mata, just being Mata, vibes, always got time for everyone, cool, but doesn't really play that much. Starting to play near the end, he's doing okay. De Gea's been amazing.
Can you say that again one more time, please? Can you say the De Gea sentence again one more time?
Yeah, De Gea has been amazing.
Thank you very much.
100%. Cavani, injured, sick note again, knew that. Then there was reports.
I've never heard of his name before. Edison Cavani.
Reports he was furious. Exactly. Reports he was furious.
Let me put a question forward then. Now that we're right at the end of the season, who's your player of the season?
Ronaldo.
It would probably have to be.
Yeah. The reason I would say Ronaldo, it's very close. And it's probably a little bit harsh on De Gea, but because De Gea's been there, done it, I just know I can always rely on him. There was a question mark over Ronaldo. Not from us at the start, because we thought he was going to be this good, to be fair, but we'd be challenging for the league. But there was this question mark after like 10, 15 games. In that period where he wasn't scoring much, we were criticising him, and rightly so in that period. He was missing chances in that period. It wasn't like he just wasn't contributing and having a rough time. He was actually missing easy chances. More fool us for even asking the questions at the time, because he's just gone on to just be brilliant. So I'd say, I personally would say CR7. The floor's open from Faz's question, guys.
Yeah, I would go with probably Ronaldo as well. Like I said, I think it would be close with David De Gea. I don't want to get into a big De Gea debate right now. We don't have time or the patience to. But yeah, I think it would be Ronaldo, I think. And that's not a recency bias either. I don't think, obviously, whenever you talk about player of the seasons, it's always very easy to say the player that's played well the last 2 or 3 months of the season. And sometimes that's quite frustrating with any kind of award. It's like Ballon d'Or, isn't it? sometimes they go, it's over 12 months, but realistically, it's over the last 3 months before they pick it. Or who's playing well at the time. But Ronaldo, like you said, I think if you looked at the season overall, especially, even before the beginning of this year, the stuff he was doing in the Champions League this season, whilst it was hardly a remarkable Champions League campaign for us, when you look back on this season, I was thinking about it, like what moments stick out to you? You'd probably say those late Champions League victories were probably the peak moments of when people were celebrating, right? And they come from Cristiano Ronaldo on several occasions. So I think it's probably only fair that he would get it.
For our Arch UCAM, WJ Barrett says, Pogba FC, Martial FC, etc. It's over. All these players have had their chance. There is change, massive change. Us fans to change and be as one united. Agree with that. There can't be any player power and player getting behind this, and it's a clean slate. And Ant says, a team of 5 different managers going in 6 different directions with clueless leadership to boot. No wonder we are trash. Ralph's revolution has begun. And Ronaldo says, my moments are games with no rain, says the actual Ronaldo who is watching. What are you saying, Cam? Is it Ronaldo for you?
Yeah, I agree. I think Owen nailed it spot on. Completely agree with that.
Yeah, nice and easy. I think also his first game against Newcastle, his first game, the way everything,
it was just so much optimism, wasn't there, Flex? I was thinking that, like when you think about the season and you go, there was so much optimism with the transfer window. And then what had to happen is the season had to actually start. And that's what actually got in Manchester United's way, because after the transfer window, and obviously Ronaldo came at the end of it, we'd already played a couple of games by that point. But if you think about it, like the warning signs were there after the second game? Did we draw our second game? I think was against it might have been
Southampton.
Southampton, and everyone went, didn't play very well.
Yeah, it started from it. That's the funniest thing. Well, it's not funny, but that's the maddest thing about our season. Yeah, before Ronaldo actually came in and we got a lift. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, bro. Because we played the first game against Leeds and we blew them away. Yeah, what was it? Bruno scored a hat trick and Pogba got 4 assists in it, something like that.
And none of the signings played. I think Sancho might have been on the bench. Varane, that was when Varane walked out onto the pitch. I remember Varane walking out to the pitch. Rio Ferdinand's there. They shakes his hand or whatever. It was like a big cinematic moment. Everyone Old Trafford's clapping. Everyone's going, "This is going to be the guy." It's like, and our big sign of the summer, Sancho hasn't even played yet. We get Ronaldo. And that was sorry.
There's that. Then I remember we go and draw against Southampton. I remember the game. And we nearly lost. I think Armstrong was through near the end because Maguire made a stupid mistake and De Gea had to save our ass. And we was already 1-0 down. And we got an equaliser and that. Then when we'd signed Ronaldo, so walking into Molineux, everyone was singing Ronaldo's name. There's guys next to me had a massive cutout of him. It was amazing. The atmosphere at Molineux was amazing. Played shit. Luckily got that goal.
Nicked it.
Nicked it. Don't know how Wolves didn't beat us. But then the sheer Ronaldo momentum carried us through into the Newcastle game at home, which again, he scores straight away. It's, tap in. Then Newcastle get it to 1-1. Then he scores again, Luke Shaw. Then we just get 3 quick fire.
And this is Steve Bruce pre-takeover Newcastle as well. Yeah. This is like terrible Newcastle, who had their moments against us as well. They're all red flags.
Okay, Faz, in an awful, awful season, let's have some fun with it now. We're in the last, 5 minutes of the show. Let's just have some fun. What's been your highlight of the season?
Okay, it's going to sound a bit mad, but firstly, it was Telles's volley against Villarreal.
Yeah.
Firstly, that's the main highlight. Yeah, it was Villarreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Villarreal. Yeah, we were 1-0 down, weren't we?
And he made a mistake prior as well. When we conceded a goal, and then he went in to do the volley. It was like, what? I didn't expect that. So that was one of the highlights. What else? Ronaldo's hat trick against Tottenham. Ronaldo's hat trick against Norwich. Just all Ronaldo stuff, really. But I'll have to say some De Gea stuff as well. I have to. Yeah. Some of the saves, I say it again and again, but physics-defying saves. You do not see those saves from goalkeepers, not all the time anyways. And yes, he's having to make them, but that makes it even better because he's having to make them and he's living up to it. So it has to be, it has to be those for me.
Scott Dog says, my highlight was, your highlight could be a negative. Your highlight could be something funny that happened. It could be something crap. It could be the day we got battered 5-0 by Liverpool. Obviously, it's not a good highlight, but something that just sticks out. It doesn't necessarily have to be positive. My highlight was the Martial issue as it's shown the start of the Wreck-It Ralph smash up. Yeah, when he said that basically Martial just don't want to play, and Martial's like, never said that. That just summed us up, and it just went bad from there. Cam, what sticks out in your mind this season?
Tell you what, Liverpool game was bad because I missed my train, so I got in 10 minutes after kickoff. I asked the people next to me like what happened so far. They went with 2-0 down already, so that was yeah, that was worse than I could have possibly.
So that's your lowest. Okay, yeah. To be fair, involved in this question is probably what's your lowest point, I suppose. Was that your lowest? Is that everyone's lowest point? The 5-0. Is that the lowest?
No,
actually,
it's the miss.
The City one.
It's the Bruno miss. It's the Bruno miss. It's the Bruno miss.
What,
when you love someone and they break your heart, yeah, it's worse than when you don't love them and they break your heart. You know, when you love someone and you expect them to do things for you and they break your heart, that's worse. That miss against Middlesbrough. Oh my God! No, that was
out of the whole season. How bad it is.
You look back at that Middlesbrough game, you think about it like that. That game was just. I don't like to write things off like this, but we were just not meant to win that game because you look at, like you said, the misses, penalty miss, Bruno miss, the goal they scored, that handball, even to this day, is ridiculous. Like his hand's out here and it hits his hand, and they go, "No, it's fine." And we've seen stuff chalked off for way less than that. Not that I've got sour grapes about it at all, but just you look back on it like that was just. But that's our season.
Ant says my highlight was Ralph throwing major shade. He's done that quite a lot, so he's especially towards the end of the season. And David says highlight of the season is getting rid of Daniel James. Oh, I forgot about that. But Rashford, Sancho, and Elanga haven't really set the world alight either. LOL. But yeah, I forgot we got rid of Dan James. Carry on, Cam. You was going to say some stuff.
Yeah, I think individually, in terms of players, my highlight would be Ronaldo's debut. Just that being there for that was incredible. And then obviously the Leeds game, Varane being unveiled on the pitch. I thought that was, especially in an era where United's done a lot of stuff around social media, everything's for tweets and interactions. We hadn't really heard too much about the Varane thing. I think the way the deal happened as well, there weren't that many English journalists reporting it. It was all Spanish journalists who were reporting it for a while. So it was still a little bit up in the air. It wasn't as sort of concrete, and we didn't know as much as usual that it was going to happen. And then just that surprise them walking out on the pitch was I didn't expect the club to do that, and it was. I think it was brilliant. It was how they should do things more often. But I think obviously when there's no games during the summer, it's hard. But no, that was part of selling us all the dream. But I think in terms of the team, the highlight of the season, it's got to be the first half an hour against Palace. It's just sold us all the dream. It was
people still talk about it to this day. The infamous
famous 30 minutes.
It was 20.
30 minutes.
It was 20. It was less than 30. It was 20 minutes. Oh, they still talk about it to this day.
But it was half an hour of front foot defending, half an hour of them not being able to get out their own half, and then they decided to just kick it long and we couldn't deal with it. But that half an hour was brilliant. It's just that's what could have been. That's what should have been if the players actually wanted to listen, actually wanted to do what Ralph asked, and if they actually had any sort of character, that's what we could have had. But no, after that it's just gone downhill very quickly.
I can't think of one solid game where there's no mitigating factors, mitigating circumstances, i.e., okay, we smashed Leeds. What was it, 5-1 first game of the season?
That's it.
But everyone smashed Leeds. That don't really count.
Yeah.
The comfortable one against Spurs at their stadium. Nuno was on his ass. They all wanted him out. That Spurs team was awful. And we all said after that 3-0, guys, don't get excited about that. And then I think we lost straight away after that. I think it was City after that, wasn't it? I think, if I remember correctly. I might have that wrong, but I don't think we did very good.
That was the one that Ollie was under a significant amount of pressure.
Massive.
That might have been after the Liverpool game, I think. And it was like, what's he going to do? And he went to that back five, and everyone went, our season's saved, back five, and all that kind of stuff. And it was like you said, everyone went.
Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of any other comfortable wins. I've been to all the away games. I can't think of any.
I can't think of comfortable ones. I did like West Ham away just because of the drama involved in that one, right?
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, Lingard scoring like last minute against his former side that he played at last season, and then the penalty, which was just like we should have had like 2 penalties that game. One of them, I think Zuma just literally went right through Ronaldo and they just did nothing about it. And then Mark Noble steps up. He comes on the pitch to take the penalty. He never misses penalties, barely. De Gea never saves penalties, barely as well, right after the Europa League final, that kind of stuff. And he saved it. And just think, we could have been like 2 points worse off than we are now if that hadn't happened. Oh, David De Gea.
No, that's true.
But look at it from a positive aspect. You know, Ronaldo has carried us with this team, with this season. Hopefully, Ten Hag, I'm not putting like a ceiling of expectation, but I'm saying is hopefully a proper manager now comes in that can tweak things, that can adjust our team, that can coach the players, put a system in, and maybe we can squeeze out a bit more from the likes of Bissaka. Maybe something to be seen from Rashford, Sancho, Elanga, Ronaldo. Maybe we can get a better squad, just a better style of play next season. So that's I guess what I'm just looking forward to from a positive aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of optimism there to end the show. Guys, get your predictions in for tomorrow's game. Last home game of the season. If you're at the game, come find us. Come speak to us. Come have your say. It's the last chance to do so at Old Trafford for the rest of the season. Well, we have got the Legends game, but in the Premier League. And let us know your predictions for the game tomorrow. Big up to Faz, big up to Cam, big up to Owen, as per usual. Match day tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune in. Keep KG company. Faz, you at the game?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Cam, you at the game? Are you coming?
No, I won't be tomorrow.
No, Cam's like, sod that. Oh, no, I'm not on that. I'm not coming to that. So yeah, if you're at the stadium, come and see us. And
I'm only going to see who claps and who doesn't. I'm only going to see because don't give me fake love.
What? So what players do in the end?
What players are clapping? Yeah.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Yeah. I think they all will. Yeah,
I was saying this the other day. I think they have to, and they're going to get a lot of abuse when they do it. But guess what? I think they've just got to take it. You know?
I think the easy target in Pogba's not there, so that it'd be injured. Yeah, he just won't be there. So that
Owen, they'll probably circle around halfway on the pitch like this. Just they won't even come near us. They'll probably just do it like this, a small.
Yeah, I don't think they should come there. I think they should just go around the centre circle, just do it from far. Do it from far. But then again, you say that, Pogba, won't be there. I don't think, but Fred's not going to be there. But I bet someone like Fred would probably still come in his normal clothes and stuff and still give it, whereas Pogba wouldn't. And that could be unfair. I could be proved completely wrong on that. I don't know. That's just while I'm thinking about it on the spot. That's just something that I could see happening. Do you know what I mean? But Cavani as well. I don't even think he'd make it round the lap of honour. Someone have to push him.
Well, a hammy.
Yeah. We'll see. That's a good point, Faz. I didn't think about that actually. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who does that. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace, guys.